I sit and wait. Does an angel contemplate my fate?
Hi everyone, my name is Sally and I'm a music leader for the Urban Vocal Group. I'm also a singing and voice teacher and I specialise in contemporary and commercial technique. Today's video is all about practicing. Now, it's one of those things that is a little bit of a touchy subject for some people because they don't necessarily like to practice, or they forget to, or different things come up in the week and they always seem to push it away. And now this is something that most singers do, and this is what I know that I'm guilty of doing myself. But the reason why I want to talk to you about practicing today is because I want you to start to think about how important it is to you. Now, I work with a lot of singers, and a lot of the singers that I work with also tend to come with a lot of confidence issues. And some of the people, when they first start working with me, the first thing they say to me is, I'm not happy with the sound of my voice, I'm not a good singer, or I don't like how I sound. And basically, the first thing I say to them is, well, do you practice? And they say, well, not really that much. And I was thinking, well, if you are trying to compare yourself to someone who's like a gigging singer, or someone who's been singing for a long time, or someone who's a professional singer or a famous singer, those people have gone through the journey of needing to practice and work hard to develop their voice. And what we're doing as kind of singers is then going, well, I'll never be as good as them. And there is no reason why you will not be as good as your idols in singing if you put the time and practice in to making your voice sound stronger. Now, if you're one of those people who don't practice, but also when you do sing, then beat yourself up for not being good enough, maybe you need to consider about whether you're actually putting the investment into your voice that you actually need to be in order to be achieving the songs that you need to do. So I want to talk to you a little bit today about how to practice and when you should be practicing and why it's so important. Now, what you need to remember is that your voice is a muscle, and muscle memory, which is something that your body learns how to do and then repeats that action. It's kind of the quickest way to kind of think about it. It's the memory within your muscle in order to kind of keep doing things like you know, like doing a zip up, you put your coat on and you do your zip up. You don't necessarily have to go, okay, now I'm going to do this and I'm going to put that in there, and I'm going to, it's all muscle memory, and that's what singing is as well, and playing instruments are. When we sing, we are only working with our normal speech patterns that we have learned through life, and we sound a certain way because of how much we've sung in the past, who we've sung with, who taught us to speak, what accent we have, what ethnicity we are. All different things will contribute to the way that you sound right now. But it doesn't mean that if you have a voice that you're not quite happy with right now, it doesn't mean that you're stuck with that. Practicing and working on your voice technically will help you to start to get the voice that you want and that you'll enjoy singing with. So practicing regularly is really, really important because, like we said, we're building muscle and building muscle memory. So if we are not putting a little bit of time into that every week, then we're not going to be seeing any progress or any results that we really want to be seeing. Ideally, you should be practicing daily, but that's not really necessarily possible in most people's schedules, particularly as different things come up each week. Now, what I want you to start thinking about is if you can put one tiny thing into your day. It could even be just as simple as singing through one song, or doing a warm-up, or just even thinking about certain exercises that you've been working on. So some of my singers that I work with, particularly my professional singers who are trying to juggle a profession, working and also singing and then practicing, and all the different things that comes with kind of being an adult and being a professional singer, a lot of time they don't really have, a lot of the times they don't have the chance to practice the way that that you would love to, you know? So what I want you to start thinking about is bringing anything into your everyday life will make a difference to you. Even if you're only doing that 2 or 3 times a week, and if you wasn't doing that before, you will notice a massive change within your voice just by singing more often. It's a chance for your body to get used to your voice and also to see what it can do and kind of explore your voice in a different way. So it's important to do it regularly. This is not going to be something that you're going to be able to stick to like every single day, and that's quite difficult. But if you can try and do it as regularly as you can, and try and remember that when you have had a couple of days or even a couple of weeks off of singing, that you will try and get yourself back into it. Remembering that if you have had a couple of days off or a couple of weeks, a couple of months off singing, it's not going to be great when you first start singing. It's going to need a little bit of kind of oiling and getting ready again. Remember, you might be a bit rusty. So please don't beat yourself up about that if you are starting to sound a little bit rubbish when you start singing again. And you kind of go, well, I could sing that song before, but now I can't do it. it's muscles, and we lose muscle tone, and we lose that memory of how to make that sound. So sometimes we need to go through and remind ourselves and spend a couple of days rebuilding that strength in our voice. Okay, so practicing. Now, it's one of those really, really odd things, because just singing on its own can be really beneficial, but it also can be a little bit detrimental if we're not practicing the right things. If you are just singing whole songs through and you are not necessarily working on any problem areas, and you just keep singing them through and just keep singing them through, and you keep making the same mistakes and you're not correcting those mistakes, you are actually building in with that muscle memory and building in with that kind of quick recall for how you sing. You will then be reinforcing the bad habit. Okay, so what I want you to be very, very careful when you're practicing your singing voice. Now, this is different between just singing. You know, if you're just singing and you're just singing fun, that's something completely different. But if you're singing because you want to learn something or you want to get better, this is when you need to start thinking like this. If you are just singing a song from start to finish, start to finish, start to finish, and you're not adjusting things as you go when things go wrong, you are reinforcing that those bad habits are fine in your voice, and your body will remember that for next time. So try and think about it that way, if that makes sense. So if you are singing and you have bad habits in your voice, or you know that you're hitting notes wrong, or you know that things are slipping, or you've got strain, or you've got tension, or your breath is wrong in that, and you know that you need to work on that, I would be working on those problem areas rather than just keep going through the motions of singing those songs, because you are reinforcing that those bad habits are actually okay for you to carry on doing, and that's what we need to undo. So today I'm going to take you through a little practice session of what I would do. I'm going to have to keep drinking water through it as well because it's really important. So here I go. Now, when I sing, when I warm up, I need to make sure that my voice is ready. So remember, it's not necessarily warming up and just going through scales. It's what I feel like my voice needs today. So I'm just going to start, and I want you to try this too, because this is what I want you to get used to doing when you're practicing. This is the whole kind of working on your voice and practicing session. Okay, so we're going to go through, and I'm just going to do some Mars, and I'm going to go ma 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 ma, and I'm going to be aware of any tension creeping into my body. So this video is a warts and all kind of me showing you what it's like for me as a professional singer, as a professional voice teacher, what I have to do to practice my voice. So this is a warts and all, and it's not going to be pretty, and I'm going to hit some bum notes, but this is the process. And hopefully this kind of makes you feel better about your own practice. If you're making sounds that you think are really, really ugly, or you're not happy with, this is normal. This is part of the process. So as I'm going through, I'm going ma 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 ma. Now I can feel a bit of jaw tension coming in. This is my first singing of the morning, so I'm not sure how my voice is going to be. So I'm going through ma 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 ma. I'm going to go to my head voice now. I'm going to make some really nasal sounds because I feel like I need to bring that sound a little bit further forward. Ma 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 ma. And it's ugly. Ma 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 ma. Okay, so it's still not coming forward enough for me today, so I'm going to go sing, sing. I actually feel like I was going to sneeze this morning. This is part of being a singer, doing all these silly things that make you look like an idiot. What's and all I said. Sing, sing. I'm waking that up. Sing. I'm also scrunching. This is really good if you're feeling a bit snuffly, or if you feel like you need to kind of really wake up that face. You know, when you just kind of sing and everything feels like it's locked back. This is great for that. Sing, sing, sing. It's going to be around there. Okay, so that's really, really good in that part of my face. Okay, so I'm going to just do some why. Why. Now, that's probably about as far as I'm going to go today, because obviously you're on video. I may not necessarily be warmed up enough for what I would like to do before I sing. I'm going to drink some water quickly as well. Keep drinking. Now, it's really, really important to remember that when you are singing and you're warming up your voice, that you warm up more efficiently than what I did then. And there are videos on the page that I've uploaded about warm-ups, and there's also warm-ups from other UVG tutors in the group as well. So, okay. Now, I picked a song because it was a song that I was working on yesterday with one of my students, and it's All I Ask by Adele, and it's pretty hard, I'm not going to lie. So this is what I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you that warts and all part of singing where my voice isn't kind of necessarily ready for this song, but I'm going to show you what I would do in order to make sure I don't hurt myself and to make sure that I'm making the most out of my practice. Now, as I said, practicing isn't necessarily about just going through and just singing through the song and hoping for the best. good singing and good practicing, and in order to be a better singer for yourself, is about taking the time to actually go through and work out problem areas in your voice. And it can be really boring, I'm not gonna lie, it's really monotonous. And this is the part that I actually find, I've been teaching for 12 years now, and the singers that take their time to break down like this on their own and in their own time, they make massive advancements within their voices, much more than others who are just singing through songs. So I'm going to take you through. So this is, I don't know what this is going to sound like, if I'm honest, quite a difficult song. So I'm going to show you what I would do as I kind of warm my voice through into a song, and also what it's going to sound like as I'm going. Don't know what's going to sound like. So we've got, I will leave. Now I'm going to stop myself when it doesn't feel comfortable. Do I want a glottal there? I'm not sure. I will leave, tiny one. I will leave my heart at the door. Now I feel like I'm a bit nasally. I'm going to try and take that out. I'm going to think nice and bright here. I will leave my heart at the door. And remember my diction, because that's not quite warmed up today. I won't say a word. I'm trying to make sure I'm not too tight here. It's all been, that's a horrible note. So I'm going to put a tiny glottal there, put a little bit more energy into that. So we've got, I will leave, and I'm playing around with the different positions, like, because sometimes you can actually modify, not sometimes, all the time, you can modify different positions of the way you pronounce things to make things easier in your voice, and that will take the strain out. So I'm going to go, I will leave my heart at the door. I'm going to remember my mouth shapes. I won't say a word, say a word. I won't say a word. This is the boring part of singing, that's what I'm saying. It's didn't like that all been said before, you know. So I'm correcting the things that I don't like. And as soon as I correct them, my body's gonna go, oh, that was actually easier. I don't need to work as hard on that. I will leave my heart at the door. I won't say a word. It's all been said before, you know. So why don't we, I'm gonna put a bit of cry in there. Just play, pretend. Do I wanna be that one? Play, pretend. Like when I'm scared, like we're not scared of what is coming next, or scared of having nothing left. Look, don't. Now I'm gonna go into the bridge, and that's gonna give me something different to think about with my voice. Don't. Do I want to do that in mixed? Don't. Do I want to do that in kind of semi, kind of chest voicey belt position? Don't. Where are we? That was on the right key. It's like, like we're scared of having nothing left. Look, don't. So I can play around with different positions. Don't get me wrong, I know. So I'm modifying the shape and the vowel, like the pronunciation to make that easier. Keep going to the wrong bit. So don't get me wrong, I know. So I can feel a bit of jaw tension creeping in, which means that I need to just kind of readjust my posture, make sure that I'm not pushing from the wrong area. Don't get me wrong, I know. No. Do you want to mix that? No, there is no tomorrow. Definitely want to mix that bit this morning. And I want to start getting ready for that next note. So it's important to start thinking ahead before you get there. So if I go for that bridge again. Don't get me wrong, I know, no. Not sure where I want that to go yet. There is no tomorrow. So I'm starting to play around with do I do that in a stronger voice, do I do it in a softer voice? And it's all down to interpretation and emotion and different things like that. So this is the first time I've really sung through this song. So I'm making warming choices, like to warm my voice up to make sure I'm ready to do the bits and pieces. But I'm also making the choices of kind of whether I'm going to go to head voice or chest voice, or am I going to make that louder, am I going to make that quieter, am I going to start thinking about the emotions behind it. I'm also going to do a little drinky drink. Remember, as you're drinking, it's starting to rehydrate your mouth and helping you to feel a bit more comfortable as you sing. If you're getting really, really dry throats as you're singing, that's not necessarily a good sign. It could be that your air is escaping. So we do need to make sure that we're looking after ourselves there. So there's other videos on vocal health as well on the page. So we got, don't get me wrong. And I'm thinking about my posture here. Wrong, I know, there is no tomorrow. I'm going to go to a semi-belt position. Is my voice ready for it? I'm not quite sure. We'll see how we get on. All I ask is... Now, I got that bit, but I knew that I wasn't going to be ready for the next bit without creating lots of tension. And this is the other thing about stopping and taking your time to go through a song, is noticing when that tension is going to creep in. Because again, if that is creeping in when you're singing, then that's going to be causing you issues down the line, whether you're going to be able to hold that note or whether you're going to cause yourself some kind of like tiredness or soreness or swelling within your voice. So let's have a look at that bit and go. Don't get me, I'm thinking about space here, get me wrong, I know. Now I can still feel this going into my jaw, doesn't like it today. There is no tomorrow, I might try again later on and tag on the end, see how my voice is getting on, as my voice warms up, we'll see. I've got a full day of teaching today, so let's see whether it's up for it or whether it's not. We'll see where it goes. If there's another video attached, then you know that I felt up to it. Okay, so. Don't get me wrong, I know there is no tomorrow. All I ask is if... kind of wanted to pull back on that one. If this is my last night with you. Now I'm going to play around with something. I might try belt. I'm not sure how it's going to come out. And this is whole part of practicing, is exploring your voice and seeing whether it works. You know, like today it may be a belting day, it may not be. If this is my last night with. So I'm starting to get different voices out, and I'm thinking, yeah, probably that could do that. Last night with. And I like to flip this. You. Last night. So I'm going through all my options and going, right, what one do I like? And I can't remember which one I liked. If this is my last night with you. If. So can you see I'm starting to take that time to go through it. This is my last. So that's bringing in strain. Last night with you. Still don't like that ending. I think I need to warm up a little bit more before I do that. Hold me like, hold me. Because I'm coming out of a belt posture, I now need to go into more cry. And my voice isn't necessarily going to want to do that. So I need to go, right, you're going to do it. I'm going to change gears. Hold me like a more. I'm going to start to play around with placement. Hold me like a more than just a friend. Just a friend. Give me a memory I can use. So I'm starting to play around with all these different parts, because this is like probably one of like the hardest songs that I work on with singers. It's actually harder than I remember, particularly in the morning when I've not really sung properly. So maybe take this as a point to actually take your time and warm through a song first before you go for something crazy, because this is something crazy. If this is my last night with you. So I'm starting to get there a little bit. So it's still not where I want it to be. It still doesn't sound the way that I want it to sound, but I'm going through and I'm allowing my body to make those adjustments when it doesn't feel right and it doesn't feel comfortable, or if I'm starting to strain, or if my voice feels like, I didn't like that at all. So what I'm doing is I'm taking that time and I'm allowing that process to happen. I'm not beating myself up when it sounds ugly. Now, there are a lot of ugly sounds when I'm practicing, and that is part of me exploring that sound, because when you're doing particularly extreme vocals like Adele, you need to make sure that you're allowing yourself to be ugly, because those sounds don't necessarily come out in a pretty way, you know? Because if you think that, what is it? Take me by the hand. That's loud, you know, that takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of confidence to not screw that up, you know, because it's one of those things you've got to go like that, and you freak out and you clamp. So it's about allowing yourself to make mistakes and allow yourself to do it. So you got, take me by the hand. And I'm going, what is comfortable? What feels good? And what we do. So I'm playing around and I'm allowing myself to make mistakes, because when I make the mistakes, I know whether I'm 100% or not. You know, like that mistake was coming in because I've not warmed up my head resonance properly today. So what I will need to do is I'll need to go away and I'll need to stretch and I'll need to make sure I'm buzzing a lot within my face today in order to make sure I'm not putting more strain in my throat. Now, that is kind of a warts and all kind of insight into practicing your songs in a little bit more of a professional way and in a more efficient way. Now, can you see how much I was stopping and correcting? And it's annoying. I'm not going to lie. It's one of those things where you literally, every 2 seconds, you're like, oh, that's not right. Because like literally, I've not even started it and I'm already like, don't like that. If this is my last, you know, I just... So if I spend all the time worried about what I sounded like, I would not make any progress because I'm going, oh, that sounds ugly. Oh. And you need to make sure that you're not making those mistakes too, and that you're not allowing those nastiness, like kind of those nasty emotions and thoughts come in, because it's not helpful. And for me, they're definitely there. You know, they're there all the time. So I'm just trying to push them aside and not overthink about them. When I'm singing and when I'm practicing, I'm allowing myself to make mistakes in order to be better. That's different to if I'm gigging. I would not take this song out and gig it until I know that I can nail it, okay? And that's where a lot of people fall down, is that they're not putting the time into practicing their songs, and then they're just putting them out in front of people, and then they're upset when they don't go the way they want them to, okay? That's the difference between a professional singer and someone who is just rushing ahead. You know, we need to be practiced. We need to make sure that we sound good before we go out there. Now, I hope you enjoyed my ugly screeching along to Adele this morning. Well, this evening, because this goes out at 6 tonight. But this is my morning singing voice coming out to you. That wasn't a good choice of song. But I want to show you something difficult and how I would need to go through and make adjustments. So I want you to be making those adjustments in your singing. So that could be jaw position, it could be posture, it could be neck position, it could be to do with whether it's head voice or chest voice, whether it's louder or softer, whether it is something that needs a little bit more tweaking on a technical sense that you're not quite sure of yet. And that's what I'm here for. You know, that's what we're here for as UVG. And our music teachers, our music leaders and our voice teachers are here to help you. So yeah, that's it. So hope you enjoy that. I hope you enjoy watching me screech and struggle, because it's not a good song to pick. But it's hopefully opened your eyes to actually how ugly we have to be in practicing, so that we don't show our true selves when we're practicing, because we're trying to find our way. You know, it's like learning anything. If you are learning a new skill, or you're learning how to draw, or you're learning how to, I don't know, like just like do art, you know, in any way, like any type of art, any type of skilled based art, we will be sounding ugly, or it won't be looking as good in the beginning. And it's up to us to go through and make those mistakes and to explore how we can create a better sound, okay, if that makes sense to you. So yeah, go away and practice, go away and try just a little bit to bring singing into your everyday lives if you can. But yeah, I will see you next week for more singing and vocal health tips. See you soon, bye.